okay, it's not working out. Let's start internship.
Let's talk about branding and brand positioning. So this applies if you have a second job or your own small business. You could even use what I'm about to say if you're just going for job interviews in your existing career or to switch careers. So we're used to unbranded versus branded, own brand versus the same seller's premium version. We can tell the difference between these because of the brand logo and everything that communicates their message. So everything on the packaging, their advertising, their free content, it all links up together ideally, right? Now, there are plenty of big brands that have been going for decades and their heritage is not as meaningful as it once was. So it used to mean a lot to have all that experience. It was a credibility marker. You can trust this brand because they've been doing it for so long. They must be the best and they must have our best interest at heart, because if you look after the customer, the money will follow, right? I'm not calling out any particular brands. I'm not saying heritage doesn't ever mean anything anymore, but it's not a strong credibility. It's definitely not a strong credibility marker because that's not a real thing. It's also not as strong a credibility marker as it used to be. And a trust gap has formed. So we as consumers are demanding a lot of change in terms of sustainability and cruelty-free and ethical treatment of workers. We also might want brand new features or the latest tech. And all of this stuff is part of the value equation regards pricing, right? If you don't have that heritage, you can invent it. So did you know that I could sell something tomorrow and put on the label JD Gross 1806? Actually, I can't put that because that's the name already of a brand of premium chocolate in one of the discounters, and it wasn't invented in 1806. It's just marketing. They're not doing anything illegal, not really doing anything wrong. I think there is another way of doing things though, especially if you're running a side hustle or a small business that relies just on you, or maybe you and one or two other people at most, so that if you fall, the whole thing falls. If we're talking about the job interview, then the analogy here is probably embellishing the CV. And someone who's just interested in short-term gain might well say, well, that's what marketing is there for. It's to give you a shortcut with your brand message. And the reason it works for a lot of brands is because the majority of people won't ever know or stop to think about whether a year on a label actually means what they think it does, or what a supposedly scientific claim might actually mean when you dig deeper. Or how has this person got 10 years experience in this industry unless they started working when they were 9? And that's partly because a lot of this is about attention to detail. A lot of it is subconscious, like you never had the surface thought, I'll buy that one because it was established in 18 something, or I'll buy it because I know what antioxidants are and exactly what they do. You kind of reach for it without even registering sometimes that that's what's influenced you. But I think if you go down that road in your own positioning, you're building your brand on a house of sand. Ooh, that rhymes as well. So I would think very carefully with any branding you do or any marketing tactics you use. If it's possible to ask the question, well, what will the customers think when they find this out? Then can you not do other things? Can you not do things another way in the first place? Like, is there not a more authentic option? If you have to plan in advance for a hole you might be digging for yourself, just to try and communicate an idea in the short term that your product is premium because your packaging looks really swish, but actually it's bottled water where the water just comes from the tap. Or that you have a tradition that you don't have because your business didn't even exist back then. Is it really worth it? I don't think so. I think more than ever, we want to deal with people, real people and individuals, and we want a brand message that feels honest and relatable. Well, that was deep.